Hello, this is Do. Today I want to talk to you about something that can really make the difference for you if you're doing any kind of transformation work, self-development, if you're a facilitator, if you're just taking a stand for a different kind of culture than the culture that you grew up with. I think this video can really make a difference for you and maybe even set you up ahead than the version of you that didn't watch this video yet, or than other people that don't know about this yet. By the way, feel free to share this. And in this video, it's not about truth, it's not about opinions or something like this. It's just a possibility for you to get another perspective on your path and how you do things. And this, in general, what my videos are really about. And this time, the different perspective is going to be about the way you relate with the people that are around you in the game world that you're building. Or in other words, let's say you have some kind of a mission or some kind of a service that you bring into the world. Maybe you decided to hold space for self-development workshops or for some kind of a conscious work, and accept your clients like all the other people in your life. What's your relation to them? And for me, nobody talked to me about these things. So as I started my self-development journey, first of all, I remember like in university where I discovered meditation. Actually, I discovered meditation when I was 16, but like some guy in my village accidentally told me about this, and a very cool spiritual guy. But eventually, like, I forgot about it, and then I discovered about it in university where my yoga teacher invited me for a meditation course. And I remember back then doing meditation was like a bit of embarrassing thing to tell people because it was so different. Like, I didn't know anyone that did this meditation course. There was only like 7 people in the whole university that joined this meditation course. Like, just imagine today there's probably like 10 mindfulness, meditation, whatever things around there. And I was a bit embarrassed to share about this. I didn't talk about this to many of my friends, maybe just a few, the close one. I didn't let anyone know in my school, in my class. Like, I was kind of keeping it to myself. And as I started to do self-development, I started to give this workshop. I never thought to invite like people from my circle. Like, I didn't even publish it. I think I had back then like Facebook. It was probably the beginning of Facebook back then, but I wasn't really publishing it like the beginning of Facebook for me, maybe, or I don't know, like social media. So I wasn't publishing my workshop. I wouldn't talk about this to many people. Not many people know what I was doing, and I was kind of like keeping this to myself. And the purpose of me telling you about this and telling you about this video here 4 minutes into this video is that I think I have a story that many people in this world, they don't harness the village that they have. They don't harness the people around them, their family, their friends, their colleagues, people at work. Let's say they have another work except from the work that they're doing in the service to the world. They're in service of Gaia, you know. Maybe they have another work. So these people, they don't harness them into what they're doing. And this brings a very tough situation for people that are doing transformation work, because, you know, it's hard enough. Like, when you're doing this work, you're doing transformation for yourself. You know, you're going into all these liquid states, you know, states of transformations. And you also, usually in the beginning, you need to navigate other big responsibilities for logistics that is outside what you're doing. Like, you need to take care of rent, for example. I don't know, like traveling, find a tent or you're traveling to sleep, and you're taking care of all these things. You're basically like a juggler. You're juggling all these things. And I mean, this is anyone, like my friends that have families are just doing their ordinary modern culture thing, they still need to juggle a million things. Like that's not, that's modern culture basically, but you have another thing on your plate where you're doing this transformation work, you're doing self-development work, you're doing something that you don't see like the immediate payoff for this. Like it doesn't bring you farther along in the game of survival. And then now, like you have all these other things, the ordinary things to take care of, the logistics and all of that. And you have, sometimes it's like, it can be a tough situation, as I said. Like it's not for the faint of heart. It's not for the weak-minded. It's really for you geniuses that are watching this video. So you took on yourself a harder level to play the world with, a harder game level, like the hard, will I choose easy life, easy? No, hard. So that's what you're choosing right now, consciously or unconsciously, and then you have all this toughness. But then here I come along and I tell you that, there are some possibility for you to change that, to have it easier for yourself. And why would you make it easier for yourself? It's not about being in your comfort zone. It's just about being more efficient and effective in the world, because actually the world really need what you're doing. Your world really need the message of self-development, of connecting people to their voice activation, or whatever, connecting people to their body, like ecstatic dance. I don't know what you're doing. Like maybe you're doing like anger workshops like we do. You're doing all sorts of transformation work, and the world really needs that. I know sometimes you might be in this bubble and you think everyone is doing this. There's too many coaches out there. But really, if you look over your shoulder, there's like 8 billion people, and most of them never got coaching or never heard about what you're doing. So just like burst this bubble first. But then also, the world really needs what you're doing. So it doesn't need that you need to struggle in every little thing. Like choose your battles. Don't start battling with logistics. Don't start to make it harder on yourself than what's needed, because that might be a way for you to not create and not bring your thing into the world, where you make it harder for yourself. And this brings me exactly to the subject of this video 8 minutes later, is how can you harness your family, your village, the people around you, your colleagues, everyone to your work, to this thing. And again, going back to my relationship with this, I was in avoidant mode. I was like, I don't even want to tell people about what I'm doing because I was scared. I was thinking it's too much out of people's boxes. And it was probably outside of people's boxes. But in this video, I'm going to give you a few practical things to think about, kind of distinctions that you can use and change that. Like you can make it something different for yourself. And this is a longer video, like my long videos are, because there is, a lot to go into. So I also brought myself to a place that I really love, the Dead Sea, as you can see behind me, if you ask yourself. And I'm also barefoot and I'm going to move around in this like nice mud as I'm talking to you. So it's not because I'm not centered. I just want to move and connect with you while I'm moving. Is that okay? Hopefully it is. Thank you for watching this video, by the way. If you find like a subscribe button somewhere here and you want to watch more video, maybe that's the time to click it. And okay, so what do? Let's start with your circles. So you have different kind of circles around you, right? And for most of us, the most immediate circle is your family. Okay? And then what people try to do, people that do transformation work, they go on this journey. They go to South America and they sit with the shaman, or they go to a workshop and they discover all this amazing stuff. Now they're in Central America, and the first thing they want to do is they want to turn back around and teach everything they learned to their family. My family has to know about this. This is gonna change their life, It's gonna fix them, that's not what they're saying, but it's really a thing. It's like, it's gonna fix them. My mother needs to know about it, my father, my brother, like all that. And this is a bit, I'm sad about this, because there is like your family and your parents, they didn't choose the transformation path as the same as you did. They have a different kind of path, you know, and you can compare these things. You know, you cannot compare. And also you don't know, like maybe one day your father going to become an enlightened person. Like, I don't know. I mean, I'm not in the business of enlightenment anyways, but like it actually comes from the Jewish tradition that they say that every righteous man can have sins. So all of them have sins, and you can never judge anyone. Like Jewish tradition, you don't judge anyone. Even if you think you're the most tzaddik, like you're the most righteous man in the world, you can't judge anyone because you don't know. Because the story is, they bring a story is that one day you're going to meet this person, and this person is going to be like all their life they were a criminal or a sinner, and then in the end of their life they took all the energy that they built up and all the power they had, and they became really righteous, and they did like crazy things for humanity. More than you think you're righteous, but they did more than you would ever do your whole life. So you cannot judge people. Okay, so I'm saying all of this to kind of share what's the context of not judging anyone, not think your path because you chose more responsibility or transformation, like it means that you're better than anyone. You're not. And then, okay, so there is your family there, the people that brought you into this world, which you owe probably a lot to them. And, you know, it's people you probably love, and they probably are really different than you, even though you grew up with the same kind of, maybe even you took some survival strategies from each other, but it's like, you know, totally different people than you. And now you're trying to change them. So if you're trying to change your family, you're trying to fix them, you're trying to tell them about this stuff in a way that you're trying to change who they are, really what you're doing is you're prosecuting them. You're saying, I'm okay, you're not okay, I'm going to get rid of you, or I'm going to change you, in other words. So that's not very transformational. But what else you can do instead of trying to change your parents? And I think some people need some emotional healing processes when they hear about what I'm saying. Like, it's maybe some part of you is angry at me right now for saying this, or like, you don't want me to help my family. It's like, no, I mean, you can let your parents or your family know about your workshops and stuff, and if they want, they're gonna feel the call to join, they're gonna tell you or something. But it's not like, if you have this little, like, they need to hear about it because, you know, they're not doing it okay, you know, they're not okay, it's like, that's the prosecution thing. And then, okay, so first of all, this baggage off your shoulder, you don't need to go and change your parents, your family. If they choose the transformation path, they're gonna find you. Believe me, they know what you're doing. And then they didn't go and choose to go to South America. They didn't experience the experience that you had with the shaman on ayahuasca or whatever. So then you're going home and you're trying to explain to them, but they're in Poland, they're fucking in winter, and they don't know about sitting in like bathing suit on the beach taking ayahuasca. Like, they were not going to feel the experience that you had. So you're trying to tell them all that stuff. It's not going to work. Okay, so, and this is the same with all the people in your life. You cannot expect them to change. You cannot expect them to get better. First of all, because it's not going to happen. Second of all, because you're just wasting your energy instead of holding the spaces that you're here for to hold. And this is, I think, a big hint. Like, what is the purpose of me sharing it or trying to change people around me, trying to be more like me, or judging them, or saying like, wake up, you know, these people, it's like, wake up, sheeple. And what is the purpose of you trying to change people? It's like, because you're thinking that you're okay and they're not okay. Or it's like a moment ago, you were like, also don't know about this kind of stuff, and you thought you're perfect back then even. So it's, you know, all this stuff is like prosecuting, but there's a hint here, because if you don't waste your energy on that, what are you really hiding from? What are you really hiding from? It's like, what are you keeping down? It's like playing small in some way. What would you do if you wouldn't invest all this energy into like changing the little circle that you have? Like, what kind of workshop will you hold? How many people you're going to change their lives because they were looking for your unique stuff, your unique work? You get it? So there is a big hint here about like, what's the purpose of what you're doing? And this is a big question. Like, keep asking yourself this if you want to, you know, really get more clarity about your transformational journey at each step. What's my purpose? And okay, so then this is what not to do, kind of. But what is like, how can you harness these people? So I just want to share to you that from my experience, like I was probably the opposite. I was not very sharing and not very including. And now I feel that my family, my village, the people I know, my acquaintances, my colleagues, like people in other kind of work, they're all in my team. And this is, I'm going to tell you the secret how to do it. First of all, it's energetic. So usually the people are in front of you, these people. So it's like your boss is here in your face, you know, making you invest all this time and what he wants you to work, but you actually want to do this thing. So the boss is in front of you and your parents are in front of you. You're doing a great workshop and you think, oh, I need to change them. And your family is like bugging you because your sister is like, she's telling you, why don't you get a family and like stuff like that, and they're in your face. By the way, it's not my story, but it's just, I'm just giving an example from people that I hear this from. And just like all these people are in your face, in front of you. And what you need to do energetically is bring them all the way here to be in the back. I don't know if you see my hands are in the back. Like they're in your ancestry, they're in your team, but behind you. Okay, so energetically, they're not in the way of your path, of what you're here to bring into the world. If you do that, it's already lighting you up. I mean, even if you do this right now with your hands as an experiment, just envision all these people, they're in your way. You probably can see their pictures, you can hear their voices, you can hear the sentences that they give you, like you should do that, you know, so just like bring them here in your back energetically. That's the first thing. Now the second thing is that you're going to start changing your original point to be a pirate. I know you didn't expect me to say that, but what is a pirate really? It's someone that harnesses people to their cause. Go watch Pirates of the Caribbean and see how many times Jack Sparrow bring all these people into his voyage, into this team. And now a pirate, it can be a bit like, is doing it in a bit non-linear, in a crazy way. Doesn't mean manipulative, but in a crazy, like in a bit non-linear way, in a way that, you know, they didn't really know they're going on an adventure, but now they're on an adventure. So it's like this. And then you become a pirate, and what you're trying to do, you're starting to do, you started making people help you on your purpose, on what you're here for to do. Okay, you're getting them into your crew, into your team. Okay, so first of all, you stop fighting with them, you stop having this energetic resistance. And again, this might include you taking some expectations off. Expectations from from the world, from people around you. Start to take back some expectations. And that's a painful process when you do emotional healing processes for this. And watch more videos about emotional healing processes for this. So you take the expectation, but also then that energetically they're here and you no longer have this resistance for them. You're gonna see that they actually, all these people really want to help you in some way. Like you chose to be born into this life with them so they can help you in some way. You know, sometimes it's this bully that bullied you and made you a bit tougher, or made you, you know, come to the age of 30 or 40 and do an emotional healing process about this and discover a whole bunch of things. And so sometimes these people are with you, but not really on your team, but a lot of them are they can be on your team, they can help you. Okay, so, and I mean, you need all the help you can get, okay? If you're taking this transformation path, you're really serious about doing something for the world, you're really serious about making a big change. I'm not talking about like, oh, I'm gonna be this perfect, nice human being and then, you know, it's gonna change something. And I don't mean like to be this activist and just like rah and unconscious anger and try to fight modern culture, because that's not gonna work. Like you're not gonna change modern culture the same way you're not gonna change your parents. But like, if you're really serious about making a change, going into transformation path, doing transformation yourself, you know, it's gonna take a lot of effort on you and you need every help you can get. Okay, this is the base assumption. Once you think that I need every help that I can get, your mom making you food, this is really supportive. Like at that time that you would cook your own food, you have an hour to publish your next workshop. You know, your father drive you somewhere. They drive you to the airport to take your next workshop. Amazing. Like, wow, it's really on your team. Like, people in your village are being nice to you. Wow. Like, imagine that these people invested so much in their life to build this amazing village, and now they're nice to you. Like, just appreciate that for a second. Like, imagine you being in some kind of a, and I mean, I traveled a lot in the world. That's why being in some kind of city and you don't know anyone in this city, how much would you pay? Like, people are just paying to go get a coffee in this like place that people are just a bit nicer. And then you have all these people that you know that will be nice for you for no reason. How amazing is that? How amazing is that? I'll give you another example. Maybe you didn't grow up in a village and you grew up in a city. And then you have all these acquaintances. Now, these people don't really know what you're doing. You're kind of not updated with them for years, but you have their phone numbers, or you know where to meet them, or when you go into this event, you meet all these people. Isn't it crazy, like, that you don't tell them what you're doing? It's like, maybe some of these people are looking exactly for what you're doing. And, you know, maybe they are, I don't know, like, would be happy to just publish your workshop. Or maybe they're just gonna like your stuff. A lot of people that are really on my team, they would never come to a workshop, but they would just like my stuff. They're really happy for what I'm doing. And that's really helpful, right, for the algorithm. Like if you're serious about putting your stuff out there, you know how important that is. Or maybe someone would just like, maybe it's a kid that you grew up with in your neighborhood and he would love to help you to hang up, like to put some flyers around in the neighborhood that you are in. Maybe it's like this old person that you know every day that you go on this coffee place and they just sit outside and would be happy to watch over your camera for a second while you go and do other stuff. And you see, you're starting to change your mindset. You're starting to turn all these people that were just like NPCs, if you know a little bit about strategy game and role-playing games, it's like NPC, it's like a non-player character. The people in your life that you see are just people, just acquaintances, just all these people. You're starting to harness all these people in your team. First of all, energetically, then intellectually, and then really like, you're starting to change your mind. And this may sound as like manipulative or something, but actually these people would love to do that. Like so many people, I mean, are just bored. I know I have some boring days, so I mean, I'm sure that a lot of other people do have them. And you imagine this boring day that you have, and you're just sitting in this cafe, and there's like someone that is excited about what they're doing. And they have this light in their eyes, and they're telling you about this mission, and they're like, would you hold the camera for me and help me make this video? Like, wouldn't you help them? Or wouldn't you be excited to tell another person that you met them and they're doing this cool thing? It's like starting to change your mind about like, what are these role of all these people? And they would love this. People really want to help you. If you're doing something that is good for the world, that is worthy, that is with integrity, like, why not? Everyone can have a mitzvah, which is another Jewish concept. They're earning a mitzvah. So they're earning this privilege to be on your team or to do something good for the world. And all they needed to do is like, I don't know, like serve you a meal or help with like invite you to their host in their home. And I mean, you go beyond that, and just this is a new idea that I have. It's just like, you can start thinking that people that doing stuff for you, like even the waiter that gives you coffee, I know that it's their job, but you can change your mind about it and start thinking about like, really, they're doing this in some way on my team. Like, they're really, the whole world, like this earth that I'm standing on, it's like really in my team to carry me, to hold my weight. It's like everything is on my team. You know, so I don't know if it's like for you, but maybe like it's even there's like this divine force that drives my mission that is on my team. You know, and you start to go like this. This is what I call being a pirate. It's like you're on this voyage, you're on this adventure, and everyone is on your team. And you know, sometimes people are not on your team, but you know how to turn it around. Like I was in 𝕨𝕒𝕒𝕟𝕜, and there was like this ecstatic dance party, but it was like super unconscious. So it just like started to be weird vibe, weird music. The DJ was off, starting to be about drugs and stuff, and it was starting to be drugged. And I was like, started to find like people that were not on that vibe, and start to kind of create like a different vibe and like a little bubble with like a different culture inside this bubble, and we can talk and we can just have conversation, or we can dance, but like I don't know, there was a different vibe, different energy inside this. So you can be a pirate and like change and transform every kind of energy into something that is more responsible or more conscious or more for the purpose of, you know, good, you know, and the purpose that you're here to serve. So I mean, this really, it doesn't have any end. Like I'll share with you some experiments that I made, and maybe it help you to think about some experiments that you can make. I mean, if you be on our teams, if you join like the Connect tribe group, and then you can, you know, I can give you some personal experiments to try, and you can give me also. But for example, one experiment that I did is like before a space holder training that I did, I just sent everyone on my phone the invitation to the space holder training. And I never did that, and it was so edgy for me. I felt so scared to do that. And then when I did it, I started to get all these responses from people that I met somewhere over there in the trip, somewhere over there. And they were like, oh, that's amazing what you're doing. I'm really supporting you. It's like great. And like, and you know, otherwise, if I wouldn't do it, these people were just like numbers on my phone. Like, you know, and some of these people later now, like a few months after, they're contacting me about that. And you know, there is all this surprising thing. You'd be amazed. Like, I had a guy today message me, and I met him on some training like 2-3 years ago. And he was like, oh, my friend want to do the anger club. I send it over to you. And I'm like, I don't even do them no more. So I'm sending her to my colleague that does the anger club. So it's like becoming like this circle where everyone help each other, and everyone is on your team, but you're on everyone else's team. I mean, the people that do conscious stuff, not the unconscious stuff. And then it becomes like this world of collaboration, and the whole world is part of your team. The whole world is in your collaboration. And all you get to do when you go out of the house is collaborate with people. So I mentioned the boss in the beginning, like you think, what will I do with my boss? My boss is not on my team, but you can harness it in some way. You're a genius. You can figure out to make this boss on your team. Like, I mean, I guess if he's paying you, and you can use that money to travel, you can use this money to create workshops or whatever you do, create, I don't know, make pots with like a little beautiful art on them, like is on your team in some way. And you just start seeing all these people on your team, and people are going to get drawn into that. People are going to start to really like get on that wavelength. You know, it's like someone is like going and have unconscious anger. They're going on the street and just looking to fight. They're going to find someone to fight with, you know, they're going to find a pissed off driver. But if you're going with this vibe of like, everyone is on my team, like people are going to start, you know, getting into this vibe, getting with you, because it's a winning happening. It's a winning for them. They get to help you. They get to help the world. They get to do something exciting. They get to do something out of the ordinary. And you get to also like, you know, help them and be on their team later, you know. So this is like pirate mode. This is connect. This is, when I'm talking about connect, this is what is behind that, like this kind of stuff. And I offering you these experiments. I offer you to experiment with this. Don't take what I'm saying as like a belief or as like a philosophy or something. Just try it and see if it works for you. Now, to wrap this up, I have a little cool experiment for you to do. And the experiment is, and you go into a place, the next place you're going into, if it's a coffee place, let's say, for example, And then you like click whatever this, you do this, and this kind of disturb the space. And you do this and you imagine that there's like these light rays going from you, from your being or from your head, but maybe from here to everyone else. There's like a beam of light going from everyone, and it creates this like radiance in the place. And you just kind of imagining, but not really imagining, you're more like declaring that, you're more deciding that it's energetically correct. And then there's this light rays going from you to everyone, and suddenly you feel like that makes everyone on my team. And you're just staying present with that for a moment. It's like everyone is on my team. And just try this little experiment and see what happens, because the purpose of me sharing this experiment is not everything needs to be linear. You don't always have to think like, okay, if they're on my team, then they will do this for me and I will do that for, like, you know, just get a bit wild. And that's it for this video. If you have any more questions, feel free to comment. Also if you like this video. And thank you for watching. Feel free to share it. See you next time. Bye.